Some stories don't feel like stories. They feel like memories left behind by the walls themselves. And in New Orleans, there's one house where the walls never stop whispering. It's beautiful at first glance, sits at 1140 Royal Street, right in the heart of the French Quarter. Pale gray stones, curved iron balconies. It's even listed on ghost tours, the famous LaLaurie Mansion. But this isn't a ghost story. This is a massacre buried beneath marble floors. In 1831, Madame Dauphine LaLaurie and her third husband, Dr. Leonard Louis LaLaurie, moved into the mansion. She was rich, respected. She came from the two most powerful Creole families in Louisiana. Her parties were legendary: senators, bankers, artists, all under one roof. But behind the elegance was a nightmare. Neighbors whispered that the household slaves were never lasted long. Some said they saw children crying on the rooftops. One girl named Leah, just 12 years old, allegedly fell to her death, trying to escape punishment. Some say she was pushed. Things boiled over on April 10th, 1834. A fire broke out in the mansion's kitchen. Smoke billowed into the streets. A crowd gathered. They bursted through the door, trying to save anyone trapped inside. But what they found in the attic made grown men vomit. More than 7 slaves, some chained to the walls, others locked in cages. One had a hole drilled in his skull, still alive, with a wooden spoon beside him. Another had his limb broken and reset in grotesque angles. He'd been twisted into a human crab. There was a woman with her skin filleted and peeled off like layers of an orange. One woman had her mouth sewn shut, her tongue removed. Another was missing both eyes. And this wasn't new. She'd been doing this for years. An estimate of over 100 enslaved people had disappeared under her care. Some found buried, others never found at all. People of New Orleans had had enough. A mob stormed the mansion. They destroyed everything. But Madame LaLaurie had already escaped. She fled by carriage, possibly to Paris. She was never officially caught. No trial, no justice. Some say she died in France. Others claim she returned to Orleans under a false identity. There's even a grave in St. Louis Cemetery, number 1, marked with her name. But no one knows for sure if she's buried there. However, the house remembers. Visitors report hearing chains clink in the attic. Women crying, footsteps pacing just above the 3rd floor. Some have seen her. Madame LaLaurie, watching from the balcony in a long gown, her face blank, her smile wrong. The building has changed hands many times. It's been a school, an apartment, even a furniture store. At one point, the owner found his inventory mysteriously covered in blood. No source ever found out how. Actor Nicolas Cage even bought the house in 2007, but sold it just 2 years later after claiming it was too haunted to stay. Paranormal teams have refused to stay past midnight. Locals won't walk on the sidewalk outside, and those who do often report one strange thing in common: that sensation of being watched. If you ever walk past 1140 Royal Street and the wind stops, and the street goes quiet. Listen closely. You might hear someone whisper your name. You might hear the chains drag along the wood. You might even see a pale face staring back from the window. And if you do, don't look away. Hello, everybody. This is the midpoint of the video, and it would mean a lot to me if you guys would subscribe, like, and comment. Comment any ideas for the next video, and I hope you guys enjoy. This was one of the most disturbing missing person cases you've never heard of. A young teacher goes out to celebrate one of the biggest achievements of her life. She surrounds herself by friends. She's happy. She's responsible. And then she disappears. Police launch a citywide search. Drivers scan every canal, bayou, and lake. Her car is missing. Her phone is dead. And there's nothing. 3 months go by. Her family is devastated. Everyone assumes the worst. But still, no answers. And just when it seems like the case is unsolved, a man decides to check one of the places the police had already cleared multiple times. What he finds changes everything, because it proves that someone either made a massive mistake or they're hiding something. In the spring of 2013, Teralyn Manute was doing exactly what she set out to do. She left her home in Long Beach, California to take a teaching job at West Wind Elementary School in New Orleans. Her students loved her, her coworkers respected her, and the city embraced her. Teralyn was smart, selfless, and focused, and now she had just been nominated for Teacher of the Year. That might not seem like a big deal to some people, but for Teralyn, this was everything. So on the night of March 1st, Teralyn and some coworkers went out to celebrate at a bar called Parlay's in Lakewood, a neighborhood of New Orleans. They stayed out late until around 5 a.m. Teralyn had been drinking, but she wasn't out of control. She told her friends she was just going to sleep in her car for a bit before driving home. It seemed like the responsible thing to do. She walked out to the bar, got into her black 2012 Honda Accord, and then she was gone. Teralyn didn't show up for work the next day. She didn't answer her phone. She didn't respond to her texts. Her friends and family immediately knew something was wrong. A missing person report was filed. Police launched an investigation. Surveillance footage confirmed Teralyn had left her bar alone. She didn't look intoxicated. She walked steadily, unlocked her car, and drove off. That was the last confirmed sighting. Her phone went dead, and no credit card activity, and no social media. No trace. Police searched the Bayou Street John, a nearby waterway just a few blocks from the bar. They used sonar equipment, boats, drivers, dogs, and they found nothing. The bayou was ruled out, and the investigation stalled. Forward to June 8th, 2013. Over 3 months later, a volunteer driver named Slidell Center decided to check Bayou Street John himself, just to be sure. Within minutes, he finds something. A car. A black Honda Accord. He calls the police. The police rush to the scene. They pull it from the water. The license plate matches.
It's Terilyn's car. Inside, buckled in the driver's seat, is Terilyn's Manute's body. After 100 days of searching, she had been just a few feet from the shoreline the whole time. Or had she? At first, the police called it a tragic accident. They said she must have taken the wrong turn and driven in the water. She probably fell asleep at the wheel, they said. Case closed. But then the people started looking at the details, and nothing really added up. For one, the car didn't look like it had been underwater for 3 months. There was barely any algae, no visible rust, no major decay. Second, drivers had already searched this exact spot multiple times with sonars, dogs, volunteers. Nothing had been there. So now, people started to wonder, was the car put there after the fact? Was this not an accident after all? But maybe a cover up? Then came other red flags. First, her cell phone was never found. Second, her purse was located, locked in the trunk? Suspicious. And last, no one, not a single person, heard a splash that night. And there's a final piece that chills people to this day. That particular stretch of road, it's well lit, with guardrails, just a few feet from the bar. If she had driven in the water, someone would have seen it. But no one did. To this day, there's no proof of foul play. But there's no proof of an accident either. Some people believe Terilyn was followed after leaving that bar. Others believe she was abducted, killed somewhere else, and the car was dumped later. When attentions had died down, what do we know is this? A woman went missing. Her car was supposedly searched for in the water multiple times. And then, 3 months later, it was supposedly, suddenly, there all along, perfectly placed, like someone wanted it to be found, just not too soon. Can we really wrap our heads around this? Terilyn Manute was a teacher, a daughter, a friend. She just wanted to do things the right way. And she did. She left the bar to sleep off her buzz and never made it home. So the question is, did Terilyn drive into the bayou that night? Or did someone wait, watch, and then put her there after the rest of us stopped looking? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please consider subscribing for more if you guys like this type of content. And if you have any suggestions for upcoming videos, please leave a comment below. Again, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that you guys have a chilling day.